In Colombia, thousands of indigenous people from different regions across the country are gathering in the capital Bogota, where they will be holding demonstrations in defense of their constitutional rights. Our correspondent Natalia Margarita reports from Bogota.
Following a 14-hour road journey, thousands of indigenous people arrived in Bogota to advocate for their constitutional right to enforce indigenous justice on their territory. The mobilization comes after the renowned indigenous leader Feliciano Valencia was sentenced to jail in September.
Feliciano Valencia is a symbol of the indigenous movement. His persistent struggle for our rights has now been trampled by the state in an attempt to imprison dignity and ideas in a way that undermines the whole political and organizational process of Colombia's indigenous movement.
Feliciano was one of the notable faces of an unprecedented mobilization in 2008, when over 40,000 indigenous people marched across the country against the economic and military policies of Alvaro Uribe. The Minga, as this mobilization was called, culminated with a massive rally in Bogota, where once again the indigenous peoples are gathering to revive the 2008 Minga.
We came to demand the acknowledgement of our indigenous collective rights that are recognized by law, but also the right to protest that is stipulated in the Constitution. Everyone who protests in the country is prosecuted and convicted, and that is why we are here. It is not just Feliciano who has been convicted, it's all of us.
The indigenous peoples have also come to ratify their commitment to peace. Known for the defense of their territory from armed actors by peaceful means, the National Indigenous Guard announced its will to act as verifiers of an eventual bilateral ceasefire between the army and the FARC rebels.
We have lived among wars, so now we want to contribute to peace, to support that process. The Indigenous Guard has presence in 23 departments. We have the capacity to fulfill the conditions to act as verifiers and monitors of a ceasefire. That's a contribution that as civilians, we the Indigenous Guard want to make to the peace of Colombia.
Hoping that this time the government commits to their demands, the indigenous communities are expected to hold activities and demonstrations over the course of this week. Natalia Margarita, teleSUR, Bogota.